Daddy Mac. Dan's 30 years got our way, trading life and markets every day. Rusty's chained to the mines, digging deep day by day. But when Option Omega releases new features, he's free to come out and play option. Omega, you're trading home, where every move makes you feel less alone.
Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Troy. Good morning, everybody. Troy, just it's on my mind, and as a Chicagoan, it's hard to keep anything on in your mind. But if anything tickles me, and I'm sure it'll tickle you too, when you think about, you can have all your opinions about, everybody can have what happened Friday and why, right? And are you surprised about what's happening today and whatever? But I think 5 words tickled me that, okay, obviously it started the catalyst, right? Obviously we should be coming down a little bit. If you don't have rain for 30 days, right? Or whatever, you're due, right? And we needed to have something go down, right? I know, as crazy as people get, like every day should be an up day until they're 93. But the 5 words, Troy, that tickle me are: China's situation will be fine. I love that. I absolutely, when you think about it, this is the president of the United States. He gets, let's put it in Chicago or New York terms. He gets pissed at the president, at the premier of China on Friday over whatever. Hey, I want this. The China guy says, first of all, we're totally different cultures. No. And he's like, did you say no to me? Do you know who you're talking to? Do you know who you're talking to? And the guy says no. And so he's ticked off and says, which any good New Yorker would do, I'm going to give you 300% tariff. Not only 300% tariffs, I'll take your goats, I'll take your camels, I'll take what I, and then over the weekend, which even was better, he says, not that Trump had a bad day, that Z, is that his name, had a bad day. We'll be okay. I love that.
It'll be fun.
Who are used to looking at the market certain ways, they're like, he got me again. He got me again. But I think, with the new, the biggest thing that I saw Friday, just what concerned me, and I'd like to hear your take, would be, it's the weekend. If it was Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday, I don't know if I would have been, but it was like when we were middle of the day, Wednesday, or that first 8 down 80 or 90, I go, everybody's looking, we got 2 days of this, right? People will wig out. When you say they wig out more than a Tuesday or Wednesday, I think, to have that kind of uncertainty, especially if there's no tweet to say, you know what, I was just joking. We're going out for pizza tomorrow or whatever, but there wasn't. And so I think that wasn't unusual to go down that amount. And then, but again, it's not like, you think about it, the last couple news reports or whatever, what do you call it, Trey? The jobs reports or inflation. Yeah. We haven't had them because of the government shutdown. Those would be different to me, right? If they said, hey, these are some concrete numbers, if you can believe the numbers, and they were bad, okay. It makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? That, okay, the market could go down. We haven't had that. Since the shutdown. We'll wait to see. This week we have, let's see what any numbers, number one, if the shutdown stops, right, we'll have a couple, maybe some of the numbers will come out. But This week we have PPI on Thursday and U.S. retail sales, Friday housing starts. That's it. So until that comes, did anybody in their mind believe that Trump wouldn't, in some capacity, I'm not saying he wouldn't have stayed mad for a little bit, but China's too big of a deal, right? I'm not saying it had to be this weekend and no one knew, what would happen. on Friday, but I think most people thought this is related with, even though we should be going down, this is related with one thing, right? He got pissed. How long is he going to stay pissed at him? And over the weekend, it was just, I just think the casualness. What would you like from your pastoral hat for a second? This is humankind. What's your take on all that, Troy?
Well, in general, I mean, I would say if someone came to me and said, I'm about to put 100% tariff on my friend, I would say, you know, take the weekend to think about it.
Yeah.
Take the weekend, you know. I had this is actually really good advice I heard one time at the cigar shop. It was a guy talking to his clearly like someone who was a younger subordinate to him.
Yeah.
And he was on the phone, and the younger subordinate was clearly upset about this other guy. And so the guy was like, yeah, he did you wrong, man. I agree completely. And I could hear the guy in the speaker basically say, like, I'm gonna write him a nasty email, basically.
That'll solve it. That's the best thing.
The guy gave him the best advice I've heard at a cigar shop ever. The guy sitting next to me said, absolutely, you should do it. And I wouldn't hold back. I would put everything you've got into that email. Say the nastiest things you want to say. Type it out. Look at it. Read it. And then immediately delete it.
Is that what he said? That was great.
Yeah.
So write it. Get it off your. So go through the actions.
Yeah. And that's what I had to do last night with the market at 6 p.m. is I had to get some things off my chest.
Oh, that's right. You were loaded for beer and the other way.
Listen, Dan, I mean, first off, we've been up since 4 this morning. Not because of futures. I wish it was because of futures.
Yeah.
Son couldn't sleep. What do you do at 4 in the morning? Dan knows the answer to this. You drive to
Gatlinburg.
You drive to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Yes. You drive to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I've got some beautiful photos about 6:15 this morning, just us walking around Gatlinburg. Us and 2 other creepers, old men. And
we don't have anything open. Chick-fil-A's not open till what time?
Like 6:30, I think. I mean, we were pre Chick-fil-A. So we stopped at Buc-ee's twice.
Wow.
On the way in, on the way out.
So you've had a full day. You're ready.
I've had 3 cups of coffee already. I'm in. So
oh my goodness.
Here's the thing, Dan. This right here. If you're a vol guy,
yeah.
This morning, now I'm presuming
Tennessee vols. Troy.
That's right. Go vols. That's
vols.
right. Go vols.
Yeah.
It's an ugly win, but it was a win.
Yeah.
If you're a vol guy, you know you make money on vol. Mm-hmm. Well, usually you're losing money on theta, right? That's usually the case.
Yeah.
So I was mad at myself Friday, and this is just going to be Troy venting for about 20 minutes and then leaving today.
Well, yeah.
I had a couple long strangles in ES that I just had on. I had been kind of nursing them, and not genius at all. I wish, like Bear and Trump, I knew information before it came out, but didn't have any information at 9:30 Friday morning.
Yeah. But
I took off the shorts. So they were double calendars. Actually, they're double long diagonals, and I took the shorts off. And so I had 2 longs, calls and puts, left over for this Wednesday's expiration. And I don't even remember what the call was, but the ES strike was 6,700.
Yeah.
Okay. So Friday, I drive to the cigar shop after the show. As is my custom, I'm ping as soon as I go in. And I'm just it's a constant struggle to not drop your phone in the toilet. That's a different day. But I'm looking at futures as I'm ping, and I'm up a couple $1,000s on these contracts.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have time to see the news or anything like that. And we started reverting. We reverted like 30 points. So I closed them because I didn't even know what the news was. I hadn't had time to sit down or anything like that. Yeah. Those suckers, I mean, they were like 140 points in the money by Friday afternoon. Like they would have done really, really well.
Because you had the ones that expired Wednesday. I got you. These were December. Okay.
Yeah, they're still in the money and they haven't expired. And so I don't regret it. This whole thing is like, I woulda, shoulda, coulda. I don't regret it. But I kind of pride myself sometimes on being able to play these type of moves well.
Yeah, I remember the April.
Yeah.
You hung in there. Yeah,
And I didn't hang in there. I didn't feel good about it. So I, right now, or really about 6 p.m. last night till now, if you're a vol guy, this is kind of no man's land because you have enough data to really mess you up. So here's the data. We're up. What are we up right now? 80 in the ES, 77?
77 in the ES.
Yeah. Okay. So we've reverted back up quite a ways.
Maybe half or 40%.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the bad news if you're a vol guy.
Yeah.
Here's the good news, or the news that can be really bad eventually that's tricking you. So you have to kind of make sure you're not fooled by randomness. The VIX isn't. I would expect to see a under 20 VIX this morning if the news was, truly just it was a one-off. We're done with that.
Much below that, maybe 18.
Yes. VIX is very elevated still.
I agree with that's the news of the morning, Troy. That VIX could be opening around 20 and a half, which is pretty sticky, as you would say, right? It's staying up. I mean, that's definitely high if this thing, and I think it will go down as more words come in if they, if they're going to do something, which probably they will. So that you're right, that is a little bit of good. My question to you, Troy, if not playing trading psychologist here, what would you say? I mean, I remember you in April. You were like John Wayne. You stayed in this thing day in and day out. Goats jumping out of the apartment buildings. You're a cool cucumber. Not that, I mean, the fact that you were in a position is phenomenal. To me, it's all good. But what was the thinking that got out of it versus, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I mean, but what were you thinking differently than like April? What was the thinking? I mean, obviously April was much different.
Well, April was different because it was a binary event. He had a thing scheduled called Liberation Day. We had gone down a bunch. We kind of reverted back up. All signs were pointing to basically what we did after April, to be honest, that we would just,
that's right.
They would digest the news and then all systems go and remove the unknown of it. So vol was expanded then, but it was cheap relative if you thought that they were mispricing what's actually going to happen, that more uncertainty would come into the market. And so that was the thing. The other thing is, like, I'm not just short. I mean, people in the Discord this weekend are like, Troy's retired. Like, I'm not just short. I shared my Greeks over the weekend. Like, I was neutral going into Friday or going into this morning. And I'm still pretty neutral. I'm just long gamma.
That's what people forget. Yeah.
So So, but this one, I took off those first two, because I've got a lot more.
Yeah.
If something actually happened, I got plenty.
Yeah.
But the initial shock of that was just, when you have shorter dated options like that and they hit and vol starts expanding that fast, takes them off the table. Like I've set too long before and really regretted it.
Well, and when you say, at least from all news, to go in VIX up, what was it, up 7 points on, or 6 on Friday, Troy? To go 6 points or 7.
It's like 30%. I mean, it's a 30% move. I think.
To go up that amount of move on, and this is on a Trump, and we have to classify this, on a Trump getting upset thing, right? And you can say, why is this any different? Is this the first time that him and China had a little bash, right? And again, you have two completely different cultures, different ways of thinking. This isn't like two guys at the cigar shop getting mad at each other, right? They're both from Tennessee. All right, somehow we'll work it out, right? This is more layered, wouldn't you say? And to go up 6, 7 points, I still think a lot of it was it's the weekend, right? It's the weekend and people got wigged out. And I think part of it is the market was up a lot, right? And it needed to come down. And
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's the
quite
other
a few
part.
people ran for the door at the same time, and
Yeah.
it pushed the vol up. But I mean, we should calm down here in the vol. I mean, unless there's other catalysts that start coming in here, but just based on the China thing, good grief.
It's a bad analogy, but I mean, this was just like, all this was in my mind was like, when you don't have, it's like a drought, basically. Like, it doesn't take much when there's a drought for things to get out of hand, fire wise. And
yes,
that's what this was. It's like we were overbought by a long shot, and vol was staying sticky into it. I mean, and so you kind of, that's a kind of a classic tell, is that you're kind of, now that's the thing that's always wild to me, is like the market's so broken, in my opinion, because people consider this an unhealthy pullback. Well, probably the rate of change Friday was an unhealthy pullback, but like, it's pretty natural to have like a 5% pullback every once in a while.
Oh yeah, and that's why you just said with the stickiness, a lot of last week we were 16, 17 in the VIX and still near the all-time highs. So it's like people are saying, enough. We're not gonna, you can go whatever you want on the upside. We ain't going to 14, right? Especially, I think even though it's a light news week, Troy, in a way it isn't. And you say, what do you mean? The last big earnings cycle of the year starts this week. So all your bank stocks now, real companies are coming out, JP Morgan. So you'll hear Jamie Dimon at least twice. He's great at, he'll, even though his stock does well and everything, he's always pretty pessimistic when he makes his comments, isn't he? Like, we need the market to go down or blah, blah, blah. But that should be interesting with the bank. And so I think the next 2 weeks, A, will be real information on companies, but B, once the government shutdown gets over, now some of those past inflation numbers, right? So then we'll at least get some reality here on what's going down. But yeah, we should be coming down a little bit, right? And I know, so you can look from technical, and I know you're reading over the weekend a lot of the technical people. And people are like, okay, we've clearly gone over whatever short-term moving averages you're looking at, right? Or market profile. And I'd be interested to hear from market profile, but like the 8 and the 21 EMA, we're clearly beat those up, right? But today we kind of came close to it when the futures were over 6,700, or I think the high today is 6,706. But yeah, I mean, I think it's good to look at technicals, but also look at, so far, it's just based on the China thing. So I mean, for range bound stuff, and just kind of wait for lunch or something and see how much it's going here. But yeah, it is interesting, and I think it's just focusing on also what's going on. It's hard for people to look at what's in front of them, right? I mean, if it's like the most important information in front of us today is where VIX is today, where the price levels are, but why did it go down, right? And if they're saying it's China, come on. Can you imagine? I mean, what would you say is the betting odds that could go for another week? That those two, that Trump doesn't do, there's no way.
He cares too much about the market. I mean, that's the thing.
He does. He does.
There's no way. I mean, because here's the thing. He could maybe do it another day if he was really mad. But then Tuesday, when the bonds open and the big boys come into the office, those are the ones I don't know if he cares about the equity market, but he definitely cares about the bond market. He's shown that time and time again.
And isn't it like an apology, almost like saying, hey, he had to, you're right, he had to come out. Otherwise, the market would have probably got destroyed tomorrow. And he comes out and says, hey, we're okay.
We're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine. Now, I'll say this. There are two things real quick. What it is interesting to me is the crypto guys and girls, they got hurt pretty bad. I was reading some stories this weekend. Some pretty sad stories that a lot of people just got liquidated. And I have a theory about that there's certain markets. Like the way I look at it is the bonds are the guys and girls that the bond market, it's all they do. They're zoned in. They probably, unless you're long-term capital management, like you're probably not over leveraged.
Yeah.
In the bond market.
Yeah.
The equity market's like everybody. It's all of America. You got a full range of experienced people and inexperienced people. My theory, and if you're a crypto trader, apologies to you. My theory is that market's so new and it gets so many young people that they have a tendency to over leverage themselves. And I think they probably got wrecked. That's my theory. Is I think a lot of people were over leveraged this week, or they found out Friday that they were over leveraged. And you know, you're over leveraged, and you pay. You know, something goes down 10% that you're long. That can really mess you up.
Good point, and you're right. I think the young people, not that old people can do this too, right? I don't want to just say it's young. There's a lot of young people who are very wise, a lot of old people who are, you know, might not have the risk management capabilities, but I think you'd have more tendency just because the way they promote all that, right? You know, it's just fun. They're promoting a lot of these brokerage firms. I would say maybe Robinhood too. I mean, maybe, but they're promoting this kind of fun beach and, you know, they're definitely I could be wrong, right? Because I know Steve Quirk is the CEO there, and he's a very solid risk management.
I don't think Robinhood,
that's too strong.
Robinhood's not to blame.
No,
but anybody who's the first to allow a multitude of people to do something risky will get blamed for it, and that's the way they're the first in my mind to like really force the industry to open up crypto to retail traders, in a way that was not silly like it was 10 years ago. But anyway, I mean, here's my thing, Dan. This is, you know, I'm running on 3 cups of coffee. Matt's in town. We're about to have all day Option Omega meetings. I'm going to Chicago this week for some fun content with you. We'll talk more about that later this week.
Tell everybody, Troy, what is this might surprise a lot of people. Little people and tall people, maybe. Yeah. What is the food request? What is the one food that you're in search of in Chicago? Let them know.
I asked Dan, I said, listen, I want to see the full Dan Sheridan experience. But then I hijacked it a little bit because I said, I want to see the full Dan Sheridan experience. But I come from Knoxville's, you know, it's a nice sized town, but it's not Chicago. There's one dish that I've only ever had once, and I loved it. It's squid ink pasta. So instead of the red sauce, you use the ink of squid as the sauce. He looked it up for me. He said, we got like 40 places in Chicago that have squid ink. Yeah. So I'm very much looking forward to an Italian dinner with Dan Sheridan and company with squid ink. It's going to be an awesome experience. Probably video.
Let me ask you something on that. A lot of Italian food I've eaten. Squid ink, I think my son tried it one time. I was a little nervous. I thought maybe I can die from it or something. But what is the taste? I mean, what wants you coming back for more on the squid ink? What's the thing that kind of hits you? I'm
a broken human being.
I'm a broken human. I love that.
That's mostly it. But I've always liked weird stuff, but the texture of the texture's not now the only one I've only had once. I'm sure there's a million ways to do it.
But it made an impression on you.
Yeah. You think, well, I wouldn't want anything to be like grimy. And grimy's not the word, but you would think at first glance, so I want it to be smooth, right? Yeah. But that's actually not the case. I found that like there's a thickness to it that I like, and there's a it's like an earthy. The closest I can do, it kind of tastes like mushrooms to me a little bit.
Interesting. So you don't throw a couple meatballs on there?
I mean, I'll throw some meatballs. I'm not opposed. Look at me. I'm not opposed.
Look at me. I'll do that.
Yeah. Listen, I want to talk about real quick my positions because I'm stuck in a quandary that I don't know if there's a good answer to it, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
So Friday, I put on at close a couple of call side butterflies. That's my usually move to kind of hedge to the upside a little bit.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of SPX call side butterflies that are high debit ones.
So
they're
broken wing,
yeah,
short delta, but no downside risk or very little, right?
Yeah, the downside risk is only the debit paid. There's no
short
margin.
Delta, you're fine on the upside as long as we don't go through the short, that type of trade.
I'm actually fine if we do because the broken wing is to the upper call side.
Oh, so you're wider on that first part of the fly.
Yeah, wider on the first part of the fly. So I've got two of those, one expiring today, one expiring tomorrow. Now, here's the play I did last night, and I'm not proud of myself, but I'm not giving up on it either. I bought, and I'm just going to give the numbers ES just to make it easy, basically. But I did, actually, I won't give the numbers, but I did a bunch of puts in ES that expire Tuesday. And those immediately started losing money last night, right? Well, just about instantaneously, at the same time, I went long an ES future. So I'm delta neutral at the start of that. Forget the butterflies for a second. I'm delta neutral at the start of that. But here's the no man's land part of this. I've done this 1,000 times, lost money probably 900 of those times. This morning's tough because those shorts, those puts have already lost a ton of juice from the vol coming out overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually are getting more and more positive delta as the day goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually have this thing where you could be down quite a bit with no movement at all because you're just bleeding theta.
Yeah.
And so, Dan, I'm stuck in a spot because I'm basically going to get out of this relatively soon this morning. But the reason I'm still in it is just vol did not come down as much as I thought it would.
Right.
I was willing to lose. I'd be willing to lose fast if vol just got crushed because I had enough upside stuff. I'd be fine. I don't like this. I don't like this 80-point range where we're just bleeding.
Here's my 2 cents. I don't have all the dominoes, but your neutral. It sounds like you have a classic back spread, right?
Basically.
You have a back spread on your long puts for your short deltas and your long ES future, and you're neutral, right? You were neutral as of last night.
As of last night, yeah.
All right. So when we open up, so that, just for those at home keeping score, this is a negative theta long Vega trade. That's the well, could be the negative. Negative theta is negative. The positive is, as we go up, Troy's getting long deltas. That's good, right? As we go down, he gets short deltas. And the expiration is when?
Tomorrow.
So here would be my thought. I mean, at least my thinking. We'll see when it opens. My guess is, if you said to me, what would I do, especially with the VIX? I mean, it looks like now a little because we're looking up 82 and VIX is down 1.4. Do you know what your long deltas will be when we open on this trade?
I'm getting longer by the minute because of Charm and Vanna. Like I'm getting longer by the minute because the deltas of the puts are losing steam because of the Vega.
Yeah. So for me, I would definitely, and you only have one future, right?
Yeah.
So from a gamma scalp, here's the thing. You got two choices, right? You can be patient, at least in how I might think about it. You can be patient and watch it a little bit because, is there the possibility that the up 82, because of, we've talked about this, as things settle, could be up 150 by the end of the day. There's that possibility.
Yep.
But the other possibility is, sure, we could go back, but even if we go up, vol will come out more. For me, it might be, I definitely, if I sell out my futures, right, you'll make a good buck, right, on your futures, and then you can start selling out some of those puts, right?
That's the right call. Yeah.
Yeah, because here's the problem. If let's say that we open up and then we come back down some, and futures don't do that much. I'm more concerned with the future, right? You got kind of a gift.
No, that's
right?
exactly, that's
84, 85 points. I'd let them have it. I think at the worst case, I'd be shocked if you sold out the futures and sold out the puts. I think you'd be break even or up something, wouldn't you?
I'm going to be down. I'm going to be down on this trade. I'm going to be, because of those butterflies, I'm going to be okay overall portfolio.
But even with the puts versus puts for, so you're saying the puts, the amount of puts you have, even though you were neutral, they will be down more than what you'll make on the future.
Yeah, just because of the vol reduction, because I bought them when we were up 40.
I got you.
And so we just had the movement against it. But no, Dan, you're exactly right, because this is what gets you. And this is, if you're kind of new to this gamma scalping game, this is Tom says Lady Vega can be a cruel mistress. And that's correct. Because you actually, what you wanted to do, at least theoretically to me, was you wanted to be long gamma in case we dropped. And so you have a bunch of puts, but you were static deltas to the upside. Well, because you're static to the upside, that static is actually gaining ground against those puts as time is going by. And so what can happen because of the change in time is the worst thing that could actually happen this morning, and that we're not gonna let this happen, Lord willing, but the worst thing that could happen is we go up back to like overnight highs, like up 100,
67 something in the future.
Yeah, and then drop right back down.
Yeah.
So Dan, you're absolutely right. I would play any pop this morning and take that future off. Probably go longer dated, some more longer dated butterflies to the upside, just to account for the puts, and then start popping off those puts.
Well, and the other thing, Troy, once you sell the futures, now you're long the puts. You could scale out of them, or I'd probably scale a little bit, but leave some, because if we go down, you got these things, right? If we go up, what you could do is turn it into a vertical debit spread.
That's what I'm thinking.
Can you get something underneath it, sell it, just to keep things under control here? Do you know what the delta of the puts will be at the opening?
It's a great question.
I mean, do they have a shot at getting in the money again?
Oh, it would be, I mean, if these puts end up in the money, we're in trouble as an economy. I'll put it that way.
You're guessing maybe they'll open up under 10 delta, these puts?
Yeah, I think I bought 10 or 15 delta puts at the time.
At the time you did, okay.
Yeah, but vol was elevated, so that's a double whammy, So, listen, it's going to be a fun day.
Yeah.
The nice thing, Dan, this is where the learning lesson is. The reason, why do you do this, Troy? Why do you do this to yourself? Well, this is why, ultimately. Because Friday was a really good day for me.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I don't want to sell started making some money Friday.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to lose money today. All these hedges I have on. So you're trying to account for that as best you can. And it's this game. I love it. It's surfing. It's my favorite.
But I'll just say this, to be the overall thesis. If someone asked me, I'd say, Troy he hit a bullseye. You say, what do you mean he hit a bullseye? We're at market highs. When VIX was 16 last week, he puts on a long gamma position, right? Or relatively. Why wouldn't you? Right? I mean, why? I do that all day, it's 16. and now, I mean, and it's fine. I mean, it's long gamma. It's just, you're not going to get crippled, like you said, the butterflies and the whole thing. You should maybe break even, right?
Yeah.
If you take the flies, and so now it's a matter of, with that futures, you're really, because of the deltas, it's almost like risk reward. You almost have to sell it. Now you're saying, well, what if futures go up? Yeah, but I'd have my hand on the trigger if you're going to wait a little bit, because you can't afford to have that future. If we go back down, then you're goosed. But
That's exactly
gamma
right.
scalping is
Right.
Gamma scalping is a very popular strategy. I think it's very good because you don't have to pick direction, right?
Yeah.
So
It's easy. It's easy to 16 VIX. These days are a little trickier. So
yeah. Hey, Troy, real quick, what is market profile? Or were you going to go over a test or something?
No. Today was just talking. I mean, I'll say this in market profile real quick. Let me just do this.
Value areas.
Yeah. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So this right here, this area is the price action Monday, right? Just in range, and then around 10:30 to 11, just and the rest of the day was history. This is the overnight action. I would say it this way.
Overnight last night, you mean?
Yeah, from 6 till now, this area. What I expect is for this to approach, if we're really, if party's over for vol, I would really expect to approach in the futures above 67.13.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I get back to those highs, or get back to approaching the highs on a push. If we go below, I mean, Sunday's open, we didn't stay there for a minute. We eventually bounced initially, but we opened around 66.30 last night. If we break below 66.30, that's, the next level is the bottom of Friday's range at 65.88. That, those two areas are danger zones. Like if we get below overnight low, which was the open, that's not great. That's not great for the market. It's the way does that make sense?
Yeah. So like maybe 66.30 on the downside, 67.10 on the upside in the futures you'd be looking at today.
Yeah, these are ES, but yeah. And it's not hard. You don't need market profile. You think about it. I mean, if it's over, we should go back to where we were before everything happened.
Period.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, will we do it today? Usually the market tries to do it in one day. A lot of times, if we go back below, kind of approaching Friday's low, well, that indicates something too for the market,
Yeah.
So and here the hard thing is I could see some strong bounces either direction. So
yeah, and yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, for range bound, just again, it's funny when people say range bound. What are you looking for? Well, more than volatility. Think of the name of the title, range bound, which would be double calendar or iron condors or whatever. You would want a little more two-way, a little stability, which we're getting today. But I personally would wait till like middle of the day on this stuff.
Yeah. And if you're a normal human being like Dan and not a crazy guy like me, like if you're just trading income stuff, there's no reason to trade this morning.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I mean, 100%. So listen, tomorrow we're going to finish the double butterfly thing. It's a busy day today, but stay safe out there. The number one way to do all this stuff if you're new to trading is don't spend a lot of money. Like just don't. I mean, it's like a market and an auction. Don't go crazy. Just keep some of the money in the account and you'll be real happy.
That's right.
But anyway, that's wisdom from Grandpa over here.